What's up, everybody? My name is Tony Bradford Jr.
Jaylon Hutchings, and this week's topic of debate is water wet? And let's go ask some teammates right now to see what they think. So the question today is water wet?
Yes. Of course.
How is water wet?
Because when you're in the water, you wet. So obviously it's wet.
That makes no sense. Because water itself is not wet. If I do that, now you're wet. Well, you're wrong.
What did he say? He said that water makes you wet.
Bro,
chill out. So everything up in here is dry. This is dry. That's you telling me?
Water itself is not wet.
So this is dry.
So what is it?
Thank you.
What'd you say?
Water in itself cannot saturate.
What did you say?
You can't saturate water in itself. I can't.
Okay, so the point is proven that water is not wet. So the question today is water wet? Do you agree with that? Yes or no?
No. No what?
Water's not wet. Water is not wet. Thank
So it's
you.
dry.
So can you please explain to him why water is not wet?
Water can only make something wet.
So it's
Water
dry.
itself is not wet.
So
it's
it's dry.
What?
I'm asking you if it's dry. If it's dry, it's either it's dry or it's wet, or is it moist? Which one?
Moist.
It's moist.
Yeah.
I argue no.
Say, what's the
Water is
GPA?
not wet.
Water is not wet. That's what he said. Can you explain to the people why water is not wet?
I believe wet is an adjective, that something with a liquid on it can be considered wet, but the object itself cannot be inherently wet.
Right.
Wet
So
is
if
not
I-
a property.
So if I pour water
Can you
on
stop,
Tony,
Wes?
that means that he's wet now. He can't. Water itself is not wet.
Yes.
Perfect.
So it's dry.
It's not dry.
Is it moist?
Dry is an adjective, and water is not wet.
But everything can be either labeled as dry or wet, or
Not
moist.
everything.
Why not? What
Well,
about
yes,
this turf?
it's a state.
Is this turf dry?
Yeah, sure, because
I made the turf wet. That's
wet.
See,
You made it wet with something wet.
water's not wet.
water itself is not wet.
What about sand? What about sand? Like it's a sand.
It's a
Is sand wet or dry?
This is getting nowhere.
It's an
All right.
expressive-
So
Is
thank
sand
you
wet
guys.
or dry?
No.
I want to
Thank
know,
you.
is sand
Thank
wet
you.
or dry?
This is getting anywhere.
Not.
Let me ask somebody. So the question today is water wet? You're a smart guy, I suppose. So how would you answer that question?
Water is not wet. For something to be wet, you have to apply moisture. You can't apply moisture to water. Therefore, water cannot be wet. Water wets other things.
So it's dry.
No. Water cannot be wet nor dry because it is the object that moisturizes other things. So water cannot be wet nor dry.
So what is it?
Water
it's
is
just,
water.
It's just something that
Hey,
God
I'm gonna
put
stop
on
right
earth.
there. He sounded very educated while he said that. So I'm gonna believe him out for real. So,
Water can't be
I
wet.
thank you
bro.
for your input there.
Y'all welcome.
So that's 4-1.
We're doomed.
Water's
We are
wet.
doomed.
Water's
All right,
not wet.
Texas Tech.
Hey, ask Florida boy.
All right. So
Yeah, let's ask him that.
Florida. So he's from Florida. We have
Where's
Henry,
wet?
Henry Columbine.
Always wet in Florida.
We have Henry Columbine.
happened?
Quarterback here. So the question today is water wet? Yes or no?
Why?
I'm
Yes
going
or
to
no?
say, considering it rains probably 85% of the year in
You're
Florida,
from Florida, right? So you should know.
I'm going to say that when I go outside and it's raining and I look down, I get wet. So I think that water's wet.
There you go, my man. My man, we're gonna be all right. We got a chance.
What?
We got a chance. Next.
Hold on. Okay. So the question today is water wet? I'm assuming that both you guys are very educated.
Oh yeah.
You made the college, made it this far in your life.
Yeah, that's why I chose him because we done had this discussion billions of times and
So
almost
Is
ruined our
water-
friendship because of him.
So is water wet? No. Thank you. That's 5-2.
Well, he got to give you a reason.
No.
He has to give a reason.
Listen.
Hold on, Ty.
Listen, water is not wet because water's not wet because
Water makes things wet.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
In order for it to make things wet, it has to be wet.
But it's not
No.
wet.
Water
My feet
itself
burning.
is not wet.
Wow.
You both agree?
Water
I
itself
agree.
is not wet.
Yeah, water is not wet. Water makes things wet.
So the water inside of here is dry.
I'm dry.
Put water on me.
Because it's wet.
Put water on me.
You're gonna be wet because water is wet.
I'm wet now.
Okay, so I just threw something dry on you, but you turn wet.
If I put water on more water, I'm not.
Water
the water is not wet.
bro. Water make things wet.
It does make things wet because it's wet.
No.
All right, so it's dry. So I'm finna pour dryness all over you, right? That's dry. Oh, that's dry.
Hey, I would like to let the people know that Tony got these two teammates, beautiful people.
I thought one of them was gonna
to
be
agree
like,
with
yeah.
him, but at
No,
the end it
I knew
backfired,
him.
and they agree with me. So the score is 6-2.
Yeah.
So thank you a lot for
Water
getting
is not wet,
these
guys.
two supporters.
Water is
that I
not
have.
wet.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Water's
All right, world. This is not a water bottle. Well, this is a water bottle, right? But it just holds dryness, I guess. Since it's not wet. Everything in here is dry.
That's not the point.
No, that's the point. That's what
That's
you're
not the
telling me.
point. That is not the point. The question was, is
Is
water
water
wet? Water is not wet because it makes things wet. And
It can't make something wet if it's not wet.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you think because I already have.
It doesn't matter what I think.
It has 6 people against your 2.
Hey, Red Raider Nation, thank you all for tuning in with us. Please, in the comments, let us know if you think water is wet or if it's dry.
I think we all know the answer, but go ahead and put what you think in the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank y'all so much.